Shalom, shalom. All praises to the Messiah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rahak HaKadosh. Double honors and salutations to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom to you Akim and Aqua. Also you children that believe on this truth. Shalom to the speckled bird that's scattered around the four corners of the globe. This is your brother Kalakar coming back at you with a little live lesson on the way to work. And the name of this lesson was in the title, You Must Endure. You must endure the affliction from the Lord. I'm going to start with Micah 7:9. I will bear the indignation of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. And that's the indignation of the Lord. You know, what you have to go through, the trials and tribulations that the Lord is going to put you through if you are part of the elect, the hopeful elect. If you're in this thing, the Lord is dealing with you, you're going to catch a lot of hell from people in the world. You're going to catch hell from your family. The Lord going to put you through things that's going to be a learning lesson for you. He's going to put you through things that you're going to have to learn from and overcome. You know, if the Lord didn't think you could handle it, he wouldn't have put you through it. He would have just left you, you know, as a reprobate in the world. But he called you into this thing for a reason. I'm going to read it again, Micah 7:9. I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him. We all fall short. We all sinners. We're not perfect. We're striving for perfection like Yahweh Shah. He was perfect. He kept the law all the way into death. And he was resurrected. He came back. I'll bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. What's the light? It's this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. This light is the truth. Let me get 2nd Esdras 14th chapter. This is 2nd Esdras 13, or 2nd Esdras 14 and 13. Now therefore set down house in order. What is this house? It's your spirit. Set your spirit in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort such them that be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. So we're supposed to comfort them that such be in trouble with these scriptures. These scriptures is going to give us comfort. I believe that's in Maccabees. I get comfort through these scriptures. Nothing else is really going to comfort you in Esau's kingdom. Remember, this is not your rest. You'll be destroyed with a sword of destruction. So you can't depend on this place to bring you comfort. And not only that, the Lord is working with you. So if you're working with the Lord, He's going to put you through all types of stuff. All types of things that you're not going to understand. You're going to be like, what is going on? Why is the Lord doing this to me? Is he dealing with me? The devil going to plague you with the plague of the mind. Especially when you're in that type of spirit. The devil going to jump on you even more. Those demons going to try to latch on to you more, and you're going to get that doubtful demon. That, am I really doing this? What's going on? You're gonna feel depressed. You're gonna have these conditions. It says, and now verse 14, let go of the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature. So we got to put off the weak nature, the burdens of man, what we've learned from this Western society. We got to put that off. We got to continue in this fight. We got to endure for the Lord's sake, because the Lord is coming back to save us. Look Look what just happened in Hawaii. You don't think those people just chilling and all of a sudden fire and smoke and vapor come out of nowhere? Yeah, they were just living their life. They didn't expect that to happen, but that city is gone now. It's gone. I'm gonna read verse 15. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. So you got to cast off these thoughts. You got to let go of these mortal thoughts. You got to think in the spirit. You got to be in the spirit. That means cutting things off to get closer to the Most High, Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah, talking to me first. You got to do the things necessary to get you back on track, to stay in that spirit, to not be lukewarm. Because if you've been distracted, you ultimately you've been distracted in this truth, and so many things are trying to pull you a different way. You got to remember to focus and hone in and come back to the Lord. Pray, repent, fast, mourn, call on the Lord's name. At any time you can call on the Lord's name. You meditating. I did a video on meditation. You got to meditate for this thing. Meditation is key. You meditating on that law. You meditating on the Lord. You waiting on His return. You got to think about this nonstop. The elect is going to think about this truth nonstop. It's always going to be in their mouth. It's always going to be in their head. Let's get Ezekiel, the 22nd chapter. Bear with me. Ezekiel 22 and I'm going to start at the 13th verse. Behold, therefore I have spit in my hand at thy dishonest gain, which thou hast made at thy blood, which have been in the midst of thee. Verse 14. Can thy heart, Salakia, can thy heart endure, or can thy hands be strong? In the days that I shall deal with thee, I, the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem HaShai, have spoken it and will do it. Can thy heart endure? Can you endure what the Lord is putting you through? Can you stand in the face of affliction and still go through it and still call on the Lord's name and give Him praise? You know, whatever thee is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. So whatever you go through, no matter if it's good or bad, you gotta thank the Lord. You gotta take it cheerfully. You gotta rely on the Lord. You gotta trust in Him with all thine heart, like it says in Proverbs, the 3rd chapter. Lean not against your own understanding. How can a man understand his own ways anyway? The Lord is directing your steps. But you gotta not lean on your own understanding. That's the flesh, because the flesh is weak. It want to feel good. It want to feel comfort. It want to feel all of these things. So you got to put off that flesh and not be of the flesh, because the flesh reaps corruption. Like I said, the flesh wants to feel good. It wants to feel comfortable. It don't want to be uncomfortable. It don't want to go through the uncomfortable. And this truth is about being uncomfortable. Look at Yahweh Shai. You don't think He was uncomfortable when He had to go on that cross? His Passover? Knowing one of His brethren, His disciples, was going to turn Him in for some money? Yahweh Shai said, I don't want to do this. Can I do something else? Let's get Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus 35:20. Mercy is seasonable in a time of affliction, as clouds of rain in a time of drought. Let me read that again. Mercy is seasonable in a time of affliction. So it's only for a short time. The Lord won't rain on you like that all day, every day. But in certain times, it's gonna feel like that. Like, dang, I gotta do this now. Like, I gotta go through this now. Why the Lord doing this to me? I gotta fix this now. I gotta do this now. I gotta go over here now. I gotta do all of this. Why the Lord doing this to me? It's only but for a seasonable time. I'm gonna read up to 19. Till he have redeemed to every man, Salakia, till he have rendered to every man according to his deeds, and to the works of the man according to their devices, till he had judged the cause of his people and made them to rejoice in his mercy. Mercy is seasonable in the time of affliction. So when you've been afflicted, you're gonna want that mercy. So lucky I should have started at 19 first. You're gonna want that mercy, because heavy affliction is coming. Persecution is coming, especially to the man of the Lord. The elect are going to be tried like fire is tried, and go through like silver is refined, and go through that hard threshold, that pressure. Pressure makes diamonds. Pressure busts pipes. But the Lord is only putting you through it because he knows you're going to endure it. We have to endure. We can't let the cares of this world and what we desire and of the flesh and have that take an effect on us, because it'll take us away from the ministry. It'll take us away. You want to give your full, undivided attention to this truth and leave the world alone. 1 John 2:15. Love not the world, nor the things in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So we can't love this world, be in the world but not of the world, use the world but not abuse the world. So yes, we still down, we still in captivity, the worst captivity of them all. But the Lord is going to deliver us out of here, the hopeful elect. I hope I'm part of that number at the end of the day. Because if the Lord gave you the manual and he called you into this thing and gave you the manual to get closer to him and receive salvation, and you still get destroyed, man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. But at the end of the day, I will, even though he slayed me, I will still trust in him. Even though he slayed me, I will still trust in him. Let's go to 2 Timothy, 4th chapter. 2 Timothy's 4 and 5. But watch thou in all things, endure affliction, do the work of the evangelicus, make full proof of thy ministry, endure affliction. You got to endure the fiery trials that the Lord put you in, no matter what it may be. Brothers across the world that's in this truth are catching hell. Even if you're not in the truth, you're still going to catch hell. You're not even going to know why, but as long as the ones that have this truth, they're going to catch hell and they're going to know why. They're going to understand why. Because this truth ain't nothing to be played with. If you come to serve the Lord, what's that in Ecclesiastes 2? My son, Ecclesiastes 2 and 1. So like, hold on. Ecclesiasticus 2 and verse 1, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. You're gonna be tempted by a lot of shit. A lot of shit gonna come into your face and be like, you know, try to pull you away from the truth. Try to make you think it ain't worth the truth. It ain't worth it. What you in it for? Those plagues, those demons gonna jump on you. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in the time of trouble. So when you're in the time of trouble, when things not going your way, when things seem like what's going on, you gotta constantly endure that. Make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at the last end. You're trying to be increased in this thing. At the end of the day, we're looking for salvation. We want salvation from the Lord. It's like, why these cars moving so slow? We want salvation from the Lord. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of affliction, or salakia, in the furnace of adversity. In a furnace of adversity. So be patient when things are not going your way. Be patient when you have to go to a lower estate. You know, let all of these, let the world go. You don't need it. What the Lord is gonna give you a crown. The Lord gonna put crowns on your head when it's all said and done. Nothing can compare to that on this side. Let's go to Hosea 5 and 15. It says, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face in their affliction. They will seek me early. So what is our affliction? Our affliction is we broke the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. Just like I started off with, Michael, I would bear the indignation of the Lord because I sinned against him. And this, I will go and return to my place, that's the Lord, till they acknowledge their offense. You know, you repenting every day. You calling on the Lord for forgiveness. You want the Lord to forgive you for all the wickedness that you've done. Past life, this life. You want those sins to be purged out. That's why we had to learn all of this wickedness. To appreciate the righteousness. Because the Lord is righteous. And he wants you to be righteous, but at the same time he got a 2/3 out here that's gonna do wickedly, that he got to get rid of. I'm gonna read it again. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge me, or acknowledge their offense, and seek my face in their affliction. They will seek me early. And that's the elect. That's the elect, the hopeful elect that's gonna seek the Lord early. Because it says in Matthew, the 24th chapter, it says, but he that endure to the end, same shall be saved. So if you're gonna endure this thing, you gotta endure this thing to the end. You can't come into it and say, you know what, it's only been 2-3 years and the Lord ain't really, you know, nothing ain't really happening. Everything's still happening the same. The world is still going as the world. You can feel it in the air. You can see it on the people's faces. Yo, 144 right there. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. 144. You can feel it on the people's faces. You can see it in the air. People know something is coming, but they just don't know what. This is not a game. It says, in this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world as a witness of all the nations, and then the end shall come. So when this gospel is in the four corners of the earth, which it is right now, that's when the end is going to come. The Lord is going to reveal himself. The Lord is going to come back. He's going to come back in a fashionable style, a glorious return, a dramatic return, with World War III, nuclear missiles, chariots, space chariots, or should I say UAPs, UFOs. That's what the Lord is going to come back in. And who's going to stop the Lord from doing that? Nobody. Not going to stop the Lord in his glorious return. Let's get one more and then we can close it out. Let's go back into Ecclesiasticus, the 6th chapter. And I'm going to start at the start at the 7th verse. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some man is a friend of his own occasions, and would not abide in the day of thy trouble. And there is a friend who begin turn to enmity, and strife will discover thy reproach, is the point. Again, some friend is a companion at the table, and will not continue in the day of thy affliction. So when you're going through a lot of shit from the Lord, or when you catching hell from left and right, people are going to be like, I don't want to be part of that. They're going to depart from you. That's why Yahushua called us his friends, because we're doing the will of the Most High. Even though it's hard, it's difficult. The straight gate. Only one man can tread it at one time. What's the camels? Through the camel's eye? Because the camels couldn't fit under in those places. Forget I'm paraphrasing. But the same thing with this truth. When this truth come about, when you've been afflicted from all ends, people don't want to deal with that. People don't want to hear you. Woe is me. Woe is me, spirit. Woe is me. People don't want to hear that. So, with that said, I hope you got something out of this. I hope you was edified.